Okay. What is one change you've made in your movie viewing habits you've adopted as a result of this course?
I feel like I pay more attention to like the technical aspects of the film, like the use of camera angles, the use of like lighting and like sound, and like just where people are in relation like on the screen, like the rule of thirds and all that stuff. Like that has become really apparent to me, and I feel like it helps me understand more like on a conceptual level what the movie's trying to say. Like I think that goes back to like it was really apparent in Silence of the Lambs, and once I like realized that, it I start to see it more in every like movie, like what it means when like the camera angle is low and like we're looking up at a character, like and like vice versa. So that's one of the biggest changes I think I've made in my viewings of movies.
I think for me, I've definitely, like, even before, like, this class, I feel like I was definitely an active viewer. Like, I always kind of, like, notice the small little things. Like, even if it was, like, something bad about the film, like, I could always just kind of tell. And, like, if there was a boom mic that came into the shot, I was like, oh, there it is. I can see it. But, like, I don't know. Like, I just always kind of, like, found those certain little mistakes, but then I also feel like because of the class I've been able to find like how camera positioning and like acting and whatnot can like affect the film, and I feel like that's something that I'll probably look out for in the future. Like I guess another example to like how I've changed would be like for the movie Life. It's like a recently released movie. Like in the film, I kind of like noticed like the difference and like similarities there are to other films, and like in the movie, it's like about an alien in the International Space Station, and you can see the camera like move through this space station as if it's like floating, and I think it kind of like gives it a really cool effect because it like makes you feel like you're actually moving through the station like on your own and with the movie, and allows you to be more involved, and I kind of like notice those now, so I think it's definitely something that's like changed.
I think what has changed most for me is that I think about the technical aspect, and the one thing that I was thinking about actually when watching Fight Club was the colors of the film, because I know there are some films out there that are just like have a huge color palette and they feel fresh and vibrant, and then there are some films that I feel just like fall flat with their colors and they don't feel like 3D in a sense. They just feel like a flat picture that I'm looking at, and I kind of noticed that before, but I was just like, that's pretty, that's not, and now I'm like thinking more about how that affects the film, what that adds to the meaning and all that. So
I think that's one of the reasons why Fight Club is so big, like because of its color palette. It's dark, it's just dark everywhere. But for me, like I notice a lot of stuff in movies before I was in this class, and I started noticing a lot about framing, like. Because I watch a lot of Edgar Wright movies, and ever since like our teacher posted a video about how Edgar Wright does visual comedy, and I saw like different ways to like play with the frame, and then I saw like different ways the frame was being played with in other movies, and I think that's really interesting because I never really knew how filmmakers what they meant by playing with the frame.
Okay, for the second question, if you had to eliminate one film from the course, which film would it be and why?
It's a tough one. Like, I like most of the movies that we watched, but I think it would have to be a tie between Seventh Seal and Apocalypse Now, because they're both really good movies, but I wasn't quite sure like what to take away from them, because I think one of the reasons we watched Apocalypse Now was for the same reason that Fight Club is on there, because it has like really strong contrast in its shadows and stuff, and it has like a really like consistent color palette. But it's a tie between one of those two for me.
I definitely choose the Seventh Seal, just because like I know some people liked it. Like when I was looking at the Slack chats, like some people really enjoyed the film, but
I kind of liked it.
Like I just didn't enjoy it that much. And like, I've seen films with subtitles before, and like it's not a problem, but like I just felt like with this movie there weren't like any big effects or things that popped out that like made me be like, oh, this is really like a really good film, And I feel like, like I just wasn't really fond of the acting as well. I felt like it just was kind of fake, and like that's just something I don't know. I just felt that way, and like I like movies where it's like more natural, and so I feel like that was something that just kind of made me feel like it wasn't the best movie. So I don't know. I would have wanted to watch like a movie like Clockwork Orange or like Pulp Fiction or something like that. I think those would have been better.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of torn between Apocalypse Now and Seven Samurai. Just because of length-wise was a big thing for me, and I also had trouble figuring out what to take away from them. First of all, they were really long movies. It was kind of hard to figure out when to fit that into like my schedule. And then again, I just found them to be kind of slow, and I was like, what am I taking away from this right now? Like, it was just really long, and I felt like there probably could have been like a shorter length movie or more typical length movie that could have been like in lieu of them. So so I felt like I could be gaining more out of it, but also still like engaging in the film for the week. So.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that Apocalypse Now probably could have been replaced with a different movie that could have shown us maybe some clearer things that we could take away from it. It was an okay film, but I feel like there's just not a lot that I felt I took from it in comparison to the other films. So.
Yeah. I would agree.
What if you could give one piece of advice to your past self to help you in the course? What would you pick?
I would say manage your schedule better.
Yeah.
Because, not gonna lie, there were some weeks where Thursday night, I was just sitting there alone at night and be like, oh no, I have stuff to do tonight. So.
I never seemed to have that problem. I just felt like it was, because I have really good time management, so that was like, that was fine for me, but for me I just felt like maybe if I read the book more thoroughly, like, just like some parts of it, like it would have helped me more, like kind of evaluating the films or like kind of answering like questions or like figuring out the film blog. So I feel like that would have been something that would be better, but like the chapters were so long, so I just didn't read it as intensely as I should have, and like kind of skimmed, and so I feel like if I had read it more thoroughly it would have been better, and I probably would have been able to do it, but I feel like also if I just told myself to like enjoy the movies more instead of like piecing together every single part, like oh this is going to mean that and that's going to mean that, I feel like it would have been more enjoyable for me.
I think I would change my time management as well. I mean, I felt like I was okay about it, but towards the end of the semester, I kind of got like a little lazy with it, and I think if I just stuck with like a schedule throughout, that would have like helped me stay like engaged. And the Slack chats, towards the end of the semester, they're kind of harder for me to like stay on top of. So I guess I would try to remind myself to like stay on top of that, like designate like at least like, I don't know, half an hour where I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna like participate in the Slack chats right now. And I also, again, with what you're saying about the chapter, I feel like if I read the chapters a little bit more thoroughly, that could have helped a lot.
I feel like for me, I'd probably tell myself to try and watch the films more than once if possible, if it's not too long to be able to do that more than once in a week, because I feel like you said, I feel like the first time I could watch it just to watch it, and then the next time I could be like, okay, now I'm going to sit down and really focus on everything that could possibly mean something that I could write about, that I could pick apart for evidence, so.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, let's say your name.
I'm
I'm Nova.
Katie.
Merryn.
Cool.